Hey guys, welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. I am your host, Knick-Knack, hanging out with you guys tonight from inside of my bedroom. That's right, it's kind of weird, isn't it? It's kind of a weird place to cut a vid. But anyway, I just was up here and just thought I'd shoot a little bit because we just bought this brand new, really awesome bedroom furniture. I know, this is so freaking off topic. Yeah, showing off our brand new bedroom furniture. I just was kind of excited for it. It's sort of like this like driftwood kind of thing. You know, we live in Colorado, so we are totally landlocked here. We don't actually have any kind of oceans or anything. So we really do dig the ocean. My wife and I dig going to Cabo. Not to say there is one action figure up here actually. And that's, of course, my custom Luke Skywalker. This was the first kit bash I ever did. I don't know if there's a lot of light in here. First and really only kit bash I ever did that actually worked out really well. This was a Hasbro Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker head with the Empire Strikes Back Hasbro clothing there, which I painted to look a little more tan. This was more of a darker green originally. And then I kit bashed it by putting it on a G.I. Joe body, an early 2000s G.I. Joe body. I always really dug this figure a lot. Obviously, it doesn't hold up that well in the world of hot toys, but nevertheless, it's kind of a special figure. And he's right next to my stuffed donkey that my wife got me in Mexico. His name is Peso. I named him Peso because we bought him at the Cabo San Lucas Airport on the way out of town. Just as a reminder to me of how expensive Mexico is. And then right over here is a picture of my wife and I on our wedding day. You know, it was funny. We got married in the summer of 2002. And, you always remember, if you're a married guy like I am, you always remember that first moment you saw your wife as she was walking down the aisle towards you. And I swear, the first moment I saw her, I swear she looked just like Padme from Star Wars Episode 2, because that movie came out the same summer we got married. And that was the first thing I thought of when I saw my wife. So, yeah, I know. Gushy.
Knick-Knack's Plastic Planet presents. It's a Knick-Knack micro moment.
Alrighty guys, well now I'm back down in more familiar settings down here in the Plastic Planet. A lot more action figures down here, but I will admit, there's a lot more action that goes on up there. You guys know what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, so I'm back down here in the Plastic Planet. I wanted to give you guys a couple updates. I know probably the first thing you thought of this morning when you got out of bed was, how the hell's Knick-Knack's basement doing, or the archive room? Well, let's go ahead and check that out right now. As you can see, here's the hallway going down into the archive room. Got a couple updates going on down here. Nothing really too special. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a full archive room reveal room tour here in the next week or so. It's coming. I know I've been teasing this and dragging this out, but it really has been kind of an ongoing project. And so yeah, I'm going to show you guys a couple things I've done down here. It shouldn't take too long, but yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Alrighty, so first and foremost, I had an electrician out yesterday, and they installed a quad power outlet down here on this wall. I had no power outlets at all along this whole wall, and I totally had daisy strung everything running, all of my fish tanks, and a great deal of my lighting too, from the laundry room with the utility cord running across the rafter here. And it's worked for like 4 years, but I've kept stringing more shit onto it. And honestly, I just didn't want to be that asshole who burns down his house because he's a dipshit. So yeah, I bit the bullet. It cost me like 260 bucks, but I did get an electrician out here yesterday. Like I said, they put a quad outlet on this wall here. So now I feel a lot better. There's a lot less stuff's daisy strung over here. And so I think it's a lot safer. Not that, I always check the cord. It never was like warm or anything. I always checked all my cords. They never got warm, certainly never got hot. So I never felt too bad about it. Like I never felt like I was putting my family in imminent danger or anything, but still, sometimes it's just like there's the right way and the wrong way. And when you get older in life and you get up in your 30s and 40s, you kind of start recognizing the importance of doing things the right way. And so yeah, that's exactly what I did yesterday. Kind of really glad I did it. Kind of sucked. That was like that could like 260 bucks. I could have like bought a really awesome hot toy or something. Instead, I spent it on a quad power outlet, but that's okay. I have my arcade 1-ups behind me. They are powered by that outlet now with a surge protector, so that feels good. I got that taken care of. And I've also put up a great deal, if you guys can tell, I also went to my Joann's Fabrics. Joann's Fabrics, that's manly. But no, I went to Joann's Fabrics this week and got some some liner for all around here, because this is, like I said, this is an unfinished basement, I've said in the past. And, you know, everything is like cement and insulation. There is not even framed up in here. So I really kind of wanted to get something to kind of, so I didn't have to look at that ugly insulation with the plastic cover over it. I really hated looking at that, because, you know, someone made construction notes on it in the past. It just was ugly. So I went to Joann's Fabrics and got some like space themed, like basically just that, you know, in their cloth section, you cut, you know, yards off. I got like, well, maybe like, what is that? That's maybe like 6 yards worth of stuff there. But I think it looks really good. Really pleased. Again, you guys will see all this in detail when I do finally get around to showing off that room tour in the next week or so. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I had the electrician down here yesterday, and I don't know if you guys experienced this or not. There is it's sort of embarrassing when you're a collector, especially like me. You know, you've got a ton of shit, and you have service people in your house, whether it's the cable guy, electrician, plumber, what have you. I always feel a little embarrassed. Most of the time they're really cool and they get it, and they sometimes they'll get really into it and really love and check out your stuff and talk to you about it. And this guy certainly did, the electrician. He was really cool. But sometimes it's just kind of awkward and weird. Yeah, it's like, you know, yeah, I've got a bunch of action figures. It's not like you come down here and I've got like a dominatrix, you know, basement with a bunch of sex swings everywhere or some shit. I mean, come on, it's Transformers and arcade machines and dinosaurs. But I don't know. But anyway, that's always an interesting experience when you're dealing with service people, when you are a hardcore collector like I am, and like maybe you are as well. So if you guys have any like service people stories you want to share, please feel free to do that in the comments section below. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Maybe that'd make me feel a little better. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, the archive room is coming along really beautifully. And I'm really pleased with it. My goal was, as I said in my previous video, because in the past the archive room has always just kind of been kind of a catch-all, and now it's kind of turning more into really like an extension of the plastic planet itself, which is just up the staircase from here that I just came down from. So it's really kind of turning into an extension of that, which I'm really pleased with. I'm really proud of, and yeah, I'm really digging it. So I'm going to give you guys a couple little highlights, and then we'll call it good here. Alrighty, so check it out. This is my Star Wars shelf. I had to take all this stuff off and move this shelf out when they had the electrician in yesterday. I tried to get all this stuff. I had to move all this stuff out of here for the second time, and that kind of sucked, but just because I just needed to give them plenty of space to work with. So I moved all this stuff down. All my Star Wars stuff is still in this giant basket here. And I'm not sure what of this I'm going to put back up or not. I'm still going to do a large display with all my Black Series figures, or at least my original trilogy Black Series figures. So I don't know if I'm going to put all this stuff back up or not. I'm not a real fan of this. What is this? This is I can't remember what these things are. I'll think of it off when I get done with the video. But yeah, I never was a real fan of Mighty Mugs. I never was a real fan of my Mighty Mugs, so I could give a shit about that. This piece is still awesome though. This was my Bantha, my Power of the Force 2 Bantha. It came out, this must have came out in 1998, I want to say, maybe 1999. This thing is still, like, to me, I think this is still the best representation of the Bantha ever. And I mean ever. I just love this thing. I know they've redone it a few times, but in the subsequent versions of this, the eye was just a little different. The eyes were a little different. I just love this. It's very subdued. It really looks screen accurate from A New Hope. I mean, you know, this looks like this looks like an elephant in costume, you know, because that's what the Banthas were. They were elephants in costume. And this, I just love this piece a lot. This still is one of my favorite pieces. The Tusken Raider that came with it was garbage, so I display him with a VOTC Vintage Original Trilogy Tusken Raider that I opened up. But yeah, these two go together. But yeah, that's really cool. And I still love this piece a lot too. And this came out in what? I want to say 97, 96. This is my Ronto. Actually, an ex-girlfriend bought this for me in college. So yeah, this was a gift from an ex-girlfriend, this Ronto. But this was always one of my favorite pieces. I know people bitch and moan about the special editions, but I always really loved some parts of the special editions I could leave. But I really did love what he did, what Lucas did with especially Mos Eisley in the special editions. It just made it more of a bustling, you know, spaceport, you know, as opposed to just it looked like this backwater, you know, nowhere place in the original cut of A New Hope. But in the special edition, it looked like this bustling spaceport with all kinds of different monsters and droids caring about their business. And I really did love the Ronto, especially in that scene. So I was always a big fan of this particular beast of burden from A New Hope. So that's really cool. Alrighty, so another thing I want to show off to you guys, and I know, this is an action figure channel. This is not an aquarium or a fish hobbyist channel. There's a million of those out there. I'm a fan of many of those myself. When I'm not watching action figure stuff on YouTube, I'm usually watching aquarium channels on YouTube. So this is not, I'm not doing a fish segment here, but there is kind of a safe place where aquarium keeping and action figures kind of collide, and that's with the decor. And I absolutely love doing up my aquariums in really cool, different themed decor, at least most of the time. Sometimes I have to change it up depending on the pragmatics of what fish I have in there. But I am setting up my current Predator aquarium tank, as I mentioned in my last video, and it's cycling right now, which means I'm getting it ready for fish. And I have all my decorations in there. PetSmart had a buy one get one 50% off on all their aquarium decorations, and yesterday, and I kind of went bonkers. So check it out. This is really freaking sweet. Alright, so first off, check out the backdrop I got. I did not buy that at PetSmart. I actually bought that at a local fish store here in Denver called the Fish Den, and it was like $2.99 a foot. And so check it out. That is just awesome backdrop decor. One of my friends, when I showed it to him, when I showed him a picture of it that I texted to him, said it kind of reminded him of like 1970s, early 80s pinball, like sci-fi pinball. And yeah, that's a great way to look at it. So I really do dig that a lot. So I kind of wanted to get decorations from that matched up with this, and so I have some black sand down here, courtesy of my good buddy Uncle Pat, who's a much bigger aquarium enthusiast than I am. But anyway, he donated some black sand to the cause. I got that zombie head down there. That looks really cool. I actually got that at the Fish Den as well. But then I also got these like sci-fi looking plants, and then like this like sea monster guy who's like strangling an octopus. And how badass is that? That is really cool. And then the star of this tank, I really dig this a lot, is this UFO over here, and it's got LED lights and full blinkers. Look at that thing. That thing is freaking sweet, right next to some more like sci-fi plants. So yeah, this thing is really awesome. Hopefully I can keep this thing in good shape. The one thing with an aquarium, as you probably know or don't know if you don't keep them, but as you know if you do, if you've ever had an aquarium in your life, is just like, they look so awesome when you first get them set up, and then they just kind of go to shit after that. So the challenge is to keep them looking nice and kind of get a nice balance in here, and I'm hoping to be able to do that, because my other tank over here, my SpongeBob theme tank, has stayed really nice, and I'm really pleased with that. And I also got some more stuff for this tank as well. I got a giant pirate ship that I have upstairs, and a couple other things. So I'm kind of going to redo this one just a little bit too. It's still going to have a lot of SpongeBob themed things in it, but it's also going to have a lot of pirate themed stuff in it as well, which kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, that's going to be really cool. So yeah, I've managed to keep this tank looking really nice, and I'm hoping that I can do the same with this one. Just keep that nice balance going. So yeah, this thing looks freaking amazing. I love it. Alright, so one more thing to note. Excuse the dryer running in the background there, but I did manage to get another DC detolf set up. So I've got two detolfs down here now, and the second one has all my DC stuff in it. My DC collection's kind of grown quite a bit recently, and there's a lot of other stuff besides Hot Toys figures that I wanted to get under glass because I just kind of had them out. So I'm really pleased with this. It's looking really nice, and I'll show this off in more detail during my room tour reveal here in the next week or so. Well, alrighty guys, well that's going to wrap up this edition of The Plastic Planet. I know this was kind of a lame video, real short, but it'd been almost a week and I hadn't got anything up for a while, so I felt like I needed to touch base with you guys and just to give you guys just a little bit of a heads up of what I've been up to, which hasn't been anything monumental by any stretch, but you know, I can't always go out and, you know, can't always be buying action figures, man. Life's got to be about more than that. At least I think so. So anyway, yeah, so I've just been kind of working on this project continuously for the last week, and it's really come along. I think it's a long ways from where it was the last time you guys saw it. So I've made some progress. I'm pretty proud of that. So anyway, like I said, it's going to wrap up this edition of The Plastic Planet. Please like, share, comment. Please do subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And if you know someone who might be interested in this content, please do send it their way as well. I really would appreciate that. That's how these things grow, and that's how that would only help this channel. And if you enjoy this content, you want to see it grow as well. So I have my personal gratitude along with that. So anyway, all right guys, well, like I said, it's gonna wrap things up, and like I always like to say, guys, life is so very short, so get out there, guys, get out there and fill it with some plastic crap. All right guys, till next time, later, love you, bye.